are back.
It is the mead truth at its best.
It is so good to be back.
I got Mark here with me. I'm back. It's just been a lot going on.
It has been.
And there's a lot coming up.
I've missed a few therapy sessions. This is therapy.
This is absolute therapy because all we do is talk the truth.
That's right.
But now we do start for some feathers every once in a while.
Well, you know.
People don't like the truth always, Mark.
Well, you know, we don't want to always sugarcoat the truth because then it won't get to the truth won't actually come out if we sugarcoat it too much.
Well, that's true. And we might have some opinions about different philosophies, and sometimes we don't always agree, but those are our opinions, and they're ours, whether you agree or disagree. But when we talk about the topics, we always like to stick to the facts. And tonight's first fact, I would like to know, with our special guest tonight, I've got David Pace. He is joining us here live in the studio. And David, I've got to switch back to me here real fast. But, you know, I advertise locally, and I didn't realize. Who's the real Slim Shady? Would you please stand up? They both look the same. One's bought and paid for, and the other one's free. What's going on in Meade County? Can you explain to me what we're faced with in this design strategy? I don't get it. Because I think every conversation I've ever had with you, it's about making it an enjoyable experience and a low cost to the community and citizens, businesses of Meade County. And you've been so good to everybody, even the schools and everything else. Walk me through where we're at today with this roar.
Our motto, Steve, is make the fair a family affair at an affordable price. And what you're leading into is it's been a battle. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The truth is the truth. And unfortunately, the Messenger had done our catalog for years. We met with new ownership of the paper back early part of the year. They agreed that they would not print a catalog against our catalog this year. Mm-hmm. And when I say our catalog, the official fair catalog.
Mm-hmm. Which it's the one that says the official.
That's correct.
Oh, okay. And so that clarifies some stuff.
And that's the thing. And the unfortunate part is the Messenger did our catalog for years and did a great job. I'm not ever going to say that any other thing but that, but it's not been a very good situation for the last 4 to 5 years. And we're moving on. We're moving forward. The Fair Board took it upon ourselves. It's our second year with Ship and Print to do our own catalog.
They did a great job.
It's been a great catalog.
This is like our
this
show.
This is the second year they've done it.
Second year.
And Ship and Print has done it's phenomenal. I mean, the color tabs that they've added, the quality of the paper and the look and feel, and it's a great book.
I think it's like our show. We don't have any advertisements in it, so you can get right to the point, especially for your topics.
And that's where the Fair Board, we absorb the cost of that. There are 2 ads in there, Ship and Print and the Kissel family, Kissel Entertainment, who are our promoters of the carnival. There have been an ad in it because we're partners with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why we pay for it. It's part of our cost to us. In the past, we never got a penny from the catalog sales. All those ads that are in that went straight to the Messenger.
And that's because they were doing the printing and such.
They did it all, and they sold the ads, things like that. And, I'm not going to say we won't ever work together again, but it's just going to take some work to make that happen, to get a contract between us we can live with. So But we've moved forward. We're moving on. We're happy with what we've got. Our product has everything in it. That's why it's official. If you compare them, they're not the same. If you look at the schedules, they're different. So I just want people to understand it's not something we're doing just to be spiteful or anything, but it is our catalog, has been since 1939. The Messenger was hired to print it for us for about 30 years. And unfortunately, that was lost in translation somewhere. And tried to take ownership of it by trying to take our name.
But the law says that you have to provide one, right?
By the KR,
So if they took ownership of it, then you were obligated to put one out.
Which is why y'all started discussing a contract, because you're obligated by KRS to produce that. So they have to meet certain criteria for it to be a publication. I know I talked to Nancy about that today. I actually ran into her at I'd like to also send a shout out today. A dear friend of ours passed in a tragic accident, and we were all at his funeral today. A few elected officials were out there today, and Nancy even made a presence. But I sidebarred with her, as you do when you're doing visitation. You want to talk about the past and all that stuff. But can't help but talk politics and business, but there was a discussion to bring back up the Fair Board thing and also look at website. So if there was a website development of the fair, that would also be counted as the publication, so people could just do it from their phone too. But
we looked into that also.
yeah, so I think there's an interest there. So I don't know if that helps out, but tell us about all the work going up to now, getting to where we're going for the fair. There's a lot of things that are coming back this year. Do we got the monster trucks? Do we got I know we got the monster drag or the drag pools and all that other stuff, but is there anything that didn't make the cut for this year?
Well, we were working with a couple of other items. We were trying to improve a couple of the monster trucks. We are having a different monster truck that you can ride on. That'll be here for Sunday for the parade, and then it'll be here Wednesday for an hour before the event and an hour after the event to give rides. And that is being sponsored by Meade County Bank, and
Hey.
they actually love it. Matt Pike, he loves monster trucks, and it'll be there. We're setting up the arena just a little different. Last year was a little tight to the fence for me. When that one turned over,
Yeah.
it was probably a little tense moment for me, but
Pucker factor was kicking
it
in.
It was in
So you're
full
shrinking,
force.
you're
So
shrinking their arena, or you're expanding the fence.
we're breaking the trucks in a little tighter, just a little bit to keep them if something does. You know, we work off of safety number one. That's
Absolutely.
we want everybody there to be safe, and I think one of the things you're going to see and notice that we've done some improvements this year. We did lease the fairgrounds again on the off season, and we were able to take some of that funds, and we've built a new gravel parking lot in the front where we at the show last year we talked about how people were stuck in that field. It happened every year. So when you come in the Carnival Gate, it's the parking to the right that goes all the way down to the Farm Bureau office, and it's totally graveled, and we feel like that's going to be a nice asset for
You're talking about this one right here.
Yeah, the pitcher is still grass, but they just changed it this year.
So if you've got this yet, or if you don't have it, so it's doing the reverse.
yeah.
Right there.
So this area's got a gravel section and that muddy section
The
now.
whole thing is gravel.
Oh, this all the way back now is gravel.
all the way out to the road.
Oh
the way to the
wow!
road.
I'm figuring out how to do this in reverse as
Yeah.
I'm facing the camera. So
Unless
this, so this is going to be better because remember, I think you got your butt chewed, the king. Last year because the roads department brought all that chipped wood out to help sop all that up, and then
And that was the deal that the county had to move that. It had to leave the site where it was. So it was a perfect match with us and with the county government,
Yeah.
and with the road department. It worked out. And now it's gone completely because now we've actually dug it up. We put down the gravel, which it had deteriorated over the winter. And so it was a savior for us that
Sure.
night because that was on Thursday night, and all of a sudden Friday, your bigger nights, and we were able to park on top of it, and people felt comfortable to come out, and we had good turnouts for Friday and Saturday. Even with 2 nights of rain out, we were still around 35,000 people, and we're seeing that right now I've stepped into a little road. We have our state president for our state association is one of our fair board members, Kenny Hott. Chad Ford is a director on that. Doug Banks is our sergeant at arms. These are all fair board members.
sure.
Yeah.
And I'm the executive director for the association for now. And it's the thing where we want people, and we had that group all here in April. All over from the state of Kentucky came in. We toured our fairgrounds. We let them visit multiple buildings, showed them what we do. It's not we're not a secret keeper. If we can help somebody else, we just helped Breckenridge County Fair is trying to rebuild. They're doing 4 nights. We were laughing. We sent them 2 sets of bleachers that fold up that hold 250 people each. We sent a piece of equipment that levels the arena for the horse show. We sent timing lights, barrels, poles, anything. you
Just
can
being a
help
neighbor.
them.
But that's being
that's
a
what
good
it's
neighbor.
about.
Yep.
That's what it's about out here.
And that's the thing. If I called them tomorrow and said, "Look, I need you to come help us this day," they would
Yeah.
all come back because it's turning. And so those 2 sets of bleachers that went to Hardinsburg, Kentucky, are now in Elizabethtown at the Hardin County Fair.
Right.
I hope they get back to Brandenburg.
And all in one piece.
They've got
Yeah.
they've got just
One
over a
piece.
week.
That's
Just over a
exactly.
week.
They are going on right now. So, and this will be the first year that we've had a new group that's going to do our parking. Baseball had done a great job for years and years, and their numbers had kind of, I guess, shrank a little bit, and they needed more help in their booth. So the dance team is actually going to do the parking this year. So if somebody wants to exercise and entertainment come out, they would take volunteers to help them. It's a learning experience. So if you've ever parked cars at the Meade County Fair and want to help a new group to get off the first year, they would probably love to have some help.
Well, I don't think I can volunteer for that because I'm going to be somewhere else in the fairgrounds when all that's happening. So
That might be a great remote out in the parking area.
we could do that.
How
Yeah. We could
goes
do that
on.
with a phone broadcast. Hey, we're looking for volunteers to be parkers. We can post that too.
We were having a little trouble with internet earlier before the show started. That's why we started a little late. And while you were downstairs, David and I were talking about, hey, can we get a remote? He was saying, hey, can you get a remote set up to kind of maybe go out and get some of the folks and get away from the. I said, I'm sure we could do something like that if it's something we want to do, but we're going to talk
We're
through
going
that.
to look into it and go from there.
Well, yeah, we do it with the phone and just go live from that spot and then post. We can do all kinds of things. Anything you want, man. We're here for you. Honestly, we're just trying to be part of the community and get the word out and help you get the word out.
Absolutely.
This don't cost nothing. Between your fair site, you get a ton of reach, and you can share this back later so that they can play it on there, and that it's just. This is something.
I missed it after the fair was over. I enjoyed each night stopping by, and I kind of hated the fact that we didn't do one on Saturday. We did that on Friday, and I said to myself right then, I said, I forgot the most important thing of all.
What's that?
I didn't thank you all for doing it.
Oh,
that's all right.
It was a great, fun time.
Yeah.
I think all the other folks that sat in on it with Billy Snipes, we had a good time with him.
Yeah.
Billy and I really had a big time with
You
over
did.
the years with demo work and being a volunteer that helps us. It really means a lot. It really does. Every little bit that we can put out about the fair makes people that can't come to that fairgrounds anymore still feel like they're a part of.
That's right, and that's why we want to do it. That's why we want to be a part of it and put that out there. We've a really good friend of mine lives in South Florida. He usually listens to us just about every week, because he wants to get a piece of home.
Yeah.
And he really enjoys it, and he was really he's really missed us the last few weeks, by the way, because things go on, but.
I think he's the one I told you about that actually hit our website, wanted to know if we would send more live things over our website so he could.
We would
keep
love to
up
work
with
with you
it
on that to
stuff,
try to
so-
do some of that. So,
But it's a great thing. Our schedule, Steve, has not changed drastically at all this year. We think if Mother Nature cooperates, we have seen the fairs in the past few months. The numbers have been increasing of people coming out.
Yeah.
Because fuel got back up in the $3.30-40.
So people aren't traveling as far. That's right.
This is their vacations, and I think it's worked out really well for us to be able to offer this entertainment right here at an affordable price. And when you're ready, I can get into talking about some other improvements that we're doing to the fairgrounds right now.
Hey,
whenever
it's
you're
your,
ready.
it's your time. Go
This
ahead.
is your time. This is not like the radio
I
station.
do want to say I'm watching the weather every day. Because we work the gates, and so it's so it's near and dear to me to see what that rain schedule is going to look like. So far so good. I'm not going to get into specifics because I don't want to. We're going to just continue.
Hold on. This is
we're just gonna
completely
continue to
made
pray.
of wood.
We're just going to continue to pray.
That is too.
For a great outcome, for a great week. Yeah, last year we had a couple so days. But you made
talking about that though.
no Roger.
Regardless-
No Roger.
No, Roger.
No, Roger. That's right. Don't say Roger's name. But y'all did an amazing job. I mean, you pulled it out. Yeah, it may have rained on us that day, but I mean, you made it up. I mean, in a big way last year. I don't want to get in the way of moving forward and talking about all the things that are going on, but I'm going to tell you, that team you have that runs the grounds, and I know you're going to I know how you feel about your entire crew that works out there. They really do an amazing job. I'll even compliment them. The feats and accomplishments that they did during last year's fair season and every fair season was absolutely amazing. It's like the show must go on, and they pulled it off without a trick. And y'all still had great numbers. So talk about that.
And it was depressing that morning when you come in. And when you have 5,000 people on the grounds and rain hits like it did, it is tough to get it out without tearing things up. And basically every parking lot had places that were torn up that we had to fix. And the people that just came out before 8 o'clock in the morning showed up, and we were actually rolling and people were hauling rock. I mean, like I said, during the fair, the one guy called, he was going to a doctor's appointment. He called another person, got him in another truck. So we had rock hauled in, we had mulch hauled in. It was like clockwork. You couldn't have asked for it to work any better for us to get it where it was. And
almost all these people are volunteers.
every one of them, you know.
I mean, it's
and most of the people that went and got us rock and came back, it was no charge for. We paid for the rock, of course, but they did it for no charge.
Sure.
that's
instead
why
of-
that right there is one of the best reasons to live in Meade County.
That's right.
Or I'll say just about any rural county in Kentucky,
Mm-hmm.
because you get community, it's family.
Yes, sir.
It's family.
Yes,
I
sir.
could call tomorrow and I could have an army there to help us do something.
You know, you
So,
speak about that. You have such a great reputation in this county, and then again, some would say otherwise. You know, I know we've joked a lot about that because
You've been talking to my wife.
no, but I mean, you've done this for so many years. You know, at some point, there's got to be a handoff to somebody. You know, have you thought about that in the long game? Because this would be your baby. It'd be hard to be sitting in the stands and watching somebody else run it.
We have been working on a succession plan of sort,
Mm-hmm.
but we have brought on several. I told some folks, I said, well, unfortunately, I've been here so long. I've worked with parents now and with their children,
Yeah.
and trying to teach some of them. And the unfortunate part is we don't have that person yet that wants to take.
Yeah.
They, you know, it's one thing to be there for the week of the fair.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't realize.
But it's a
what it takes.
job.
No, it's a lot of
It's a job
yeah.
all year long. I mean,
Yeah.
and you're not getting paid for it, right? So
Like zero.
I think I said
Zero.
that.
Zero.
No,
But
but
you
you're
get
charged with
You
trying
get paid
to
in
not burden the
smiles
fair
and
board.
rainbows, right?
That's right.
Yeah, but you're charged with not burdening the fair board. You know, y'all do strive to break even, and there's not. I mean, is it good to get a profit out of it so you can improve the fairgrounds? Absolutely, it's a fundraiser.
Well, we've learned when we leased the property to Nucor, being a good neighbor, letting them store the steel. Then we came up last year. I got a call just out of the blue that Ford needed place for
I saw that.
vehicles, and that actually ended up being one of the best things we've ever done. It didn't hurt the grounds. We had security out there 24 hours a day. Was great for the fairgrounds, and you know it just paid for us. And it helps us offset. We don't take fair proceeds to offset the off months.
Right.
And
Right.
that's why we were able to do parking lot. Now we're actually looking at right now. David Pace doesn't like construction 2 weeks before the fair, but we're finishing all of our food booths were built about 10 years ago, something like that,
Yeah.
upgraded them. And this is the first time we're doubling the space.
I
of
would say it
those
looked like
food
it's
booths.
almost double the
Wow.
size.
It will be. We've added like a 10 by 36 on the back of each
Yeah.
food booth, and hopefully tomorrow the roofs will be on them, and they'll
Wow.
be ready to start moving in. And some of them are going to be painting on Saturday, so it's called just-in-time delivery. And we have actually done that. We built a new wash rack in the back for the cattle and
Oh, wow.
small animals, and it is completed. And it's we want to make sure it's the best it can be. And I have to, and I'll tell a little more about our Grand Marshal. I'll just say it now.
Oh,
but
ladies and gentlemen, there is a this is going to be really good. So y'all, if you're not, tune in right now. I mean, just tune in because we have a good guest, our Master
Grand Marshal.
Marshal. There you go.
For the parade.
All right, now let everybody know. This is going to be good. Hold on wait a second. Wait, I got to get the right sounds out. All right, go ahead. I'm ready.
Ryan Quarles,
Yeah.
the Commissioner of Agriculture, is going to be our Grand Marshal this year. He's been our a great asset to the Meade County Fair, being able to help us do improvements and being able to give us guidance. And the one thing that we like about him, he loves our fair.
Yeah.
He does.
He likes to come. He likes to see what we do every year. And he said it numerous times at the Farm Bureau breakfast and all. He said, when we plan the Kentucky State Fair and somebody wants to change something, we always say, well, what do they do at Meade County?
Yeah.
You know, makes you want to swell up, makes you proud.
A little trivia on this. During the primary election, I know he was running for governor. He was all over the place, like way lowest, very low budget compared to what the other candidates were in the race, and he came in second. That ground game, he is so well known within the fair community and in the farming community, and he laid it out there during that election. Not to get into politics, but his reputation He
Yeah.
spent less money than everybody else, and yet he comes in as a runner-up. I know
think
that
what
sucks.
All you're saying is he cares about the
Yeah.
farming communities, and he gets out and
And it was-
he's not a sit in the office bureaucrat up in Frankfurt. He gets out. And
Yeah.
he's
He's
seeing
been to our fair
Yeah.
numerous times. And
not just the fair, but, I mean, just
But
the
by
county coming in
reputation,
and-
he's well known, and it served him well in the primary. But
he was actually at the Hardin County Fair on Monday. They kicked their fair off with something that I talked to the extension office that we do later in the year. It's the farm to table, and they do it over there.
Yeah.
It's a fundraiser that they give to charities through the fair. And Ryan has been a speaker for them every year. And
Wow.
his closing statement the other night was 6 words. I'm going out, but I'm not done.
No, there you go.
There you go.
So,
I'm hoping that means a lieutenant general spot.
well, he wouldn't say any more than that, but I think you'll see there's future for him.
I'm absolutely. Daniel Cameron would be crazy not to, or
At
either
least I
that,
consider. I mean, I don't
or
know who
either
is-
that. If the Comer slide around with there's a slide somewhere, and maybe even a federal seat. You know what I mean? Who knows?
Who knows?
And Ryan's been very active with us also, trying to relocate a granary here. And
Yeah.
we've called on him numerous times on things. And his chief of staff, Keith Rogers, you couldn't ask for a better person. He
Sure.
lives right next door here in Hardin County. He's come over many days for
Sure.
meetings with folks, and we've really appreciated all that. And
Yeah.
it just makes it a lot better.
So, I mean, that wasn't really on our agenda tonight, but is there any word on the granary or what's going on there? or-
Actually, we'd been dealing with one company, which is Archer's Daniel Midland, and it got to the point that we realized that they kept raising the price to build, and we just realized, well, they didn't want to build it. They want to run it, they just didn't want to build it. So we are working with a new company that actually is more into a port than just a granary.
Oh, that would be
That's-
so
yeah.
amazing.
And we've actually went and visited their port that they first one they built, and great visit. We're waiting hopefully Monday, Tuesday.
Wow.
They're going to be here to visit on site here. We've taken them all of our paperwork. They said you all are a lot further along than we realized. So we're really excited. You know, it's just been slow, but I want to.
But we're not giving up.
No, I want to compliment the farmers.
Yeah.
The farm community. They've all stuck with us. They've told us they get disgruntled. We do too. I mean,
Yep.
I'm upset. It should have been built by now. And they said, the one thing we want you to understand, we support you, get it right.
Yeah.
So don't just throw something up that you wished you hadn't done.
Just to say you did it.
Just say we
Yeah.
said we would. And
Yeah, don't
Well, you
just
know,
check a box.
Troy's not going to do
check a
that.
box.
Troy has been adamant about do it right. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. I know he's adamant about that too.
I know we
so.
talk about this a lot, but I mean, it's not about the 5-year plan. It's about the 20-year.
He's
plan.
really focused on 2060,
yeah.
2050.
yeah, we've I talk to him 4 days a week.
I
just
bet you
about
do.
right now, and it's been really good. We've had a lot of great conversations,
Mm-hmm.
and we didn't know each other at all before last year's fair.
Yeah.
and we've got a lot of working relationship, and been very, very progressive so far.
Very good.
We've enjoyed every bit of it.
Not in a democratic, progressive way, right?
We're just staying right on our plan. And we're going after whatever we're trying to
Everything
do.
that y'all
So,
plan to achieve is in progress
That's right.
with a successful path.
And we've got more people looking at us right now. Yeah, I retired since I guess I was on here last time from Meade County RECC in March 1st. And
Yeah.
Congratulations.
now I'm
Yeah,
working
congrats.
for the Industrial Authority, 100 hours a month. So they're just trying to keep us going, but it's just way too much going on to not be doing something.
Sure.
And it's we actually had one of our meetings at Nucor yesterday and got to tour the building.
Nice.
My calves are hurting today from walking.
All the
It's a
walking?
huge
climbing
building.
steps.
I haven't been in the building, but I've seen that building, and it's huge.
Huge.
1,500,000 square feet
That's
under
just
roof. So
insane.
and the good thing that I like about it is everything we discussed plus has already taken place. They are now at 440 full-time employees, promised 400.
Even fellow my comrades from the Army that just recently retired are working over there in important positions.
Yeah.
So I think it's they stuck to their word on everything that they promised they would bring to this
Hired
county.
local.
And more. And Meade County has probably 40% of the employees there. And then it's
That's good.
kind of a tie between
Out of
Hardin
state.
County, Breckenridge County, and Harrison County. So it all ties right together. And I mean, some people want to fuss about you have to wait 10 minutes to get a table at a restaurant in Brandenburg. Some will complain about the traffic, but the contractors have dwindled. There was at a max high of 2,000.
Yeah.
We're at 300.
Well, you can
now,
tell if
so-
all you got to do is drive by the RV park by the trash and over by the taco trucks,
Yep.
and you'll see that most of them have left that were on contractor status. So
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do with those little RV parks, but I don't
But
know.
that's to kind of put a kind of a button on this, but it's been a very good experience overall. I mean, a lot of people complained about it or worried about it. I think most of the complaints were about the unknown.
Yeah. Nobody
and
likes
then-
change.
And are they going to do what they said they were
Yeah.
going to do? But I think they've done that.
Johnny's done a great job of being present
Yes.
in the face of all of that too, and he's stood by his word. He's an excellent executive.
And he did not cause the county to run out of water.
No, he did not.
They don't get a drop of water from the county.
Nope.
He did not cause the city to run out of water because that was a water line break that we found. So,
Yep.
everything that happens on Facebook, it's Nucor's fault. But
Yeah.
I'm telling you, folks, I can
You've
take
heard it
you
here
down
first.
there.
This is the truth.
440 people coming out of that gate every day will tell you it's the greatest thing ever happened to them in their life.
Now,
Yeah.
do they work basically? How many shifts they work over there?
They're actually, most of them are 2 shifts.
Two
They work
shifts.
12-hour shifts, but they do have a shift where they work around the clock, and it's so automated, and it can actually operate with like 100 people there. It's
Wow.
that.
But their number one focus is safety.
Oh my God.
So they would have more people and being safe than to risk running with a lightweight crew.
It's their corporation's living motto. You've got to live by that.
Absolutely.
So,
So we've got the same vendors, schools, churches, different groups from the schools and stuff still selling
Any
stuff.
new food?
I'll go down to food.
All right.
All right.
Let's
That's
start
what
with
we
the food.
like.
To start off with the first booth next to the command center, we have the FFA booth. That is the school organization that runs the fish booth. Step over one booth. That is the Meade County Baseball Boosters, and that's where they serve it. I'll back up. They have fish. They have French fries. You can get meals now at every one of these stops. The next one is school pizza. That's
Okay.
what baseball we always talk about.
Oh,
that.
yeah.
People love to get that school
That-
pizza.
is
when
it the
they
square
pick up
rectangular
the
piece?
square piece?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's
I used to roll that-
go to at the fair.
I used to roll that up like a burrito and eat it. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
So then the next one is it's going to be Blue River Island Baptist Church. They actually were the Macedonia Christian Center last year, but it's running through the church this year. That's your hamburgers, cheeseburgers, your fries. I think it's like the instead of funnel cakes now they do the funnel fries. Type
Oh, okay.
thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then they have it's just multitudes of food that are in there. Other than that, then you step over. The next is the Meade County Wrestling Team, and they do everything chicken.
Okay.
If it's a chicken, it's in there, and they actually do the Bloomin' Onion booth. It's over by the arena. They have a lot of a variety of things there, and then on the end is
I
the
worked that
swim-
booth.
Yeah.
I worked that booth when it was the chorus.
Course was the church
years
booth,
ago.
Yeah.
Years ago they had the Bloomin' Onion over there as
Right.
well. I worked that, and my hands smelled like onions for like
And the
2
seasoning
weeks.
probably. And then your shirt
Oh
probably
no,
smelled
I was
like the
I was
grease.
the onion cleaner. My job was to
Oh.
wash up, and then scrub onion or wash up.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
now they do slivers. Not
Yeah.
it used to be the whole onion.
Yeah.
You'd take it, you'd mash it, and it would make it
Sure.
spread open. There's nothing like a blooming onion 4 days later laying on the ground. It's the slickest, dangerous thing
Oh.
you can step
But
on. So
worse than a banana
that's
peel.
right.
Yeah.
And then we have the last booth is the swim team on the front row, and they do fried bologna sandwiches and multitudes of ice cream, things like that, salads. And then when you go in the inner circle there, then we have the Meade County Cattlemen's. That's the ribeye sandwich and the brisket sandwich. And right beside them is the Meade County Soccer Boosters, and they have the pork chop and pork burgers. And that's the line where you start getting when. And what I love, we built that this time of year when you put those buildings together. There's all kinds of room. But when there's 8,000 people trying to eat,
Yeah.
It gets crowded.
And
Yes.
that's a good thing. But we've tried. We're doing this addition to those food booths, and the reason we think that's going to be a help it's going to give them room to spread out and possibly speed the lines up a little
Sure.
bit. They were so tight in the space they had, but 10-year-old buildings are new to the Meade County Fair. I'll just be honest,
Sure.
we've slowly gone around the fairgrounds. We've completely either remodeled or rebuilt every building on the fairgrounds.
Well, I would say that that cost associated with that is not cheap, and for you guys to generate revenue outside of more than just the county fair, but the things like with Ford and making yourself available to Nucor as a community partner, I think that makes a landslide of difference on what it costs the community to even have this fairground. And I don't think they realize that type of decision-making, executive processes that are done by the board, but I just want to commend you guys.
If Nucor had needed that property at zero, it would have been the right thing to do.
Absolutely.
Because they needed the space to make it work, and they fixed everything that a heavy truck messed up, and you couldn't ask for a better relationship.
Yeah.
And they've been a premier sponsor for us. Even years we didn't have much of a fair, they probably saved us with a donation. So that COVID, we don't even talk about that anymore.
No.
But
Now, did you all line up all of your donors for the winners for the Cavs and all that other stuff this year for additional funds that come out of the auctions and stuff like that?
we actually have all that put together with different groups. We have an auction committee that puts together, and each year there's a little portion of a fee that the kids contribute to help offset the cost of photos, the cost of mailing, cost of things, and a portion of that's used for the kids just for that. Then there's money that's donated to that auction committee that buyers buy an animal and they turn it back in to resell it. That's used for the Meade County Fair, the Meade County 4-H, the Meade County FFA to do improvements at the fairgrounds for those to be utilized by all three entities. We're right now at the cattle show barn, and it's all three animal shows in this one building. We have the cattle barn, another barn, and then our sheep, goats, and hogs are all in another one.
Sure.
We're putting all new speakers in them, brand new whole electronic system for an amp system and speaker
Nice.
system.
Nice.
And you can be able to turn on speakers outside, turn them off, turn on certain one barn at a time. It's going to be a great addition where the kids will be able to hear when it's getting close to their time to show, and when it is, when they're showing, if somebody else is getting another calf ready, they can hear what their brother or sister is doing in the arena. So
Yeah.
That's
Have y'all,
awesome.
have y'all already contracted that out to get that started yet, or?
it's hopefully finished tomorrow.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good.
we
Very
put it-
good.
yeah,
So, I was going to go down the week. What do you?
I wanted to, before we do that, I wanted to say
evenings.
one thing I've heard about your catalog the last 2 years is this map.
Yeah.
Everybody says, hey, it's nice having that so I can see exactly where each building is. I know what's going on. We don't have like the midway and stuff. We don't know where all the rides are going to be and stuff, but it's almost impossible to figure that out before you go to print. But it looks like you're going to need a new picture next year because you got the parking lot, you've got the expanded buildings and all that, right? So it looks like you're going to need a new picture.
One of our fair board members is very, very, very good at drones, and he's the one who did those for us. We had 50 photos to choose from. We just thought that one covered it all, and we
It does.
will
It
have
does a great
new one
job.
for next year. And we, if you come to the fair office, we have photos of the fairgrounds empty, and we have photos of it with the busy nights, so you can see what it's like when there's semis parked and trucks and cars and motorcycles. People don't think about that when you're parking. A motorcycle can't park out in a field.
No.
So we have some spots near where the mobile home is on the fairgrounds. And if you look at the letters on these buildings, they coincide with the letter that's on the building. If you get to the fairgrounds and you're wondering where a building, what is, like the bathrooms, I always tease about that because the letter for the bathroom is P. I don't know how that happened.
No pun intended, but it works out great.
Yeah.
But that's where that letter is on those buildings, so you can be able to find them. And we've worked and putting bigger signs all the way around that building. So if you're on any side of the arena, you can find where those restrooms are located.
Well, if I make a suggestion
Yes.
for next, if you do get a new picture for next year, make sure it's the same angle because
Yeah.
we're already used to seeing it this direction. So, if you
So
flipped it might change. But this is a really good thing. But I think we want to go down the week.
So,
Or you got
real
something?
quick, so it says there shall be no entry fee for exhibitors. So when we set up our booth, we just come on in, or do we need a visitor, an exhibitor pass, or how does that work?
We have passes.
We have passes. Okay.
When you buy a booth, that is.
Now we
included
got to
with
go
it.
buy a ticket to buy
Exhibitors
rides if
are-
we want to do that, though. But I got it.
Exhibitors are animal exhibitors.
Oh,
I believe.
okay. Not our booth.
You're not an exhibitor. You're
Ah.
on exhibiting, but you're actually a vendor. is
Got
the way
it.
We look at
So
that.
then we just buy ours. I got it.
That's
We're good.
But we have 2 passes with our booth.
That's
So,
good. All right, that's cool to know. So, but y'all did y'all fill up all the booth space for the vendors?
We're really close this year. We were doing a Chad Ford. I was talking to him on the way out here. We still have about 6 that are available. I gave him 3 names today that are people interested, and so a lot of people were coming that have never been here before, and they hear about the numbers. They want to be a part of it, and some of them travel fair to fair, and some of them just show up Monday if you got a space, and that's how it works.
Kathy and I talked about it for our business, but I'm like, where would I get the time to put up another booth?
Who's going to do
Yeah,
it?
who's going to actually work it? 'Cause-
What, do we still have space next to ours there?
We
No,
plan
Remax
to
is
do
on the
all
other side of
the
us.
3 booths this year. You'll
So-
have this. The big
Remax
booth-
is still on the other side of us, I believe.
Oh,
So They've
okay.
got that down to the corner.
Oh, I'll mess with.
Yeah, it'll be like Mark and Melissa Gatewood.
I'm gonna have to mess
yeah.
with Mark.
A little bit.
Yeah, because we're not in ball season now. I'm just
No.
kidding. I'm just teasing. All
We're
right, so
thinking about
run
doing
us
a
through the
tournament.
week lineup. Tell us
Okay.
what happens each night, where we should be. I know it starts on Sunday. We got the county fair. You talked about the Grand Marshal.
Just today.
I'm sorry, Saturday.
Starts on Saturday.
Saturday.
Starts
that's right.
Saturday, July
starts Saturday.
22nd.
That's the first Saturday. Well, it actually really starts next Thursday. We have work days on Thursday night at 6
right.
o'clock till quit time. Then we have work days from 6 to about 8 o'clock on Friday night. Then Saturday morning around 8 o'clock we start again, and we try to get it cleaned up, painted up. And that's one thing I want to thank JJ Scarborough and his team up there
Sure.
that
Yeah.
work hard to help us before the fair to get things going. But the Fairfest 5K and the 1 mile fun run, that all kicks off between 7:40 and 8 o'clock on Saturday morning. And we have an antique tractor and engine show on Saturday and Sunday both. It's up under the shade trees. They actually make homemade ice cream all day up there, and it's just a lot of fun. Last year was our first day on that first Saturday. We had our garden tractor pull there. It was a record number of entries, and it was about like today. It was 100 in the shade, and there is no shade in that arena, but had a great turnout, and they think they'll have record numbers again this year.
Awesome.
Then we have a beef breeding show on that open Saturday. It's a time frame where non-meat counties can actually come and show their animals here. Kind of helps them get ready for their fairs. And
Sure.
then that evening at 7 p.m. Or at 6 p.m. we have the Western Horse Show in the back arena, and then our cornhole tournament is in the community building, and that's air conditioned. So if you're wanting something to do that's comfortable, come there.
Oh, I gotta call my buddy. Oh, he and I gotta get back in that cornhole.
Is it in the
The only-
Farm Bureau building or
The Farm Bureau
Okay,
building.
okay.
The only thing we do there, we don't let you bring a team. We make it where you get there, you sign up, and you draw a partner.
For those looking at the map, it's in Building B.
All right,
We did that for a reason. We didn't want pros
Ringers.
coming in. That's
Ringers.
exactly
I
right.
got it.
So-
Okay.
But there's a lot of people who play cornhole in
There
this
is.
county.
and we have off the boards. We've got like 12 sets of boards that we put in there, and the lanes are all set up. And it's a big crowd, and it's work to make that thing stay in order.
now y'all provide
Yeah.
the bags, or
Everything.
Okay, so-
you just show
so no
up.
no ringer bags. You can't bring in your own
We've
bags.
got everything
very
to
cool.
make it fair. So
Okay.
then we
No
switch,
pun intended.
That's
Make
right.
it fair.
That's right.
Just kidding.
Then we start on Sunday the 23rd that morning. That antique show goes again, and hopefully it'll be even larger this year, where they can actually do some driving exercises, and they do the barrel train, some different things like that. Then we have kind of a youth Western Horse Show that morning. We started this a little earlier last year. We kept running later into the parade, and we were trying to make that so the people that were there that wanted to be a part of the parade, they could actually just switch over and get there in time. The fair parade's at 2:30. We cannot tell you yet where it's going to start.
Oh,
We feel like it's going to be Mead Olin Park. There was a tournament scheduled. They've only got 4 teams in it right now. Hopefully we can still make that work out. So between there, St. John's, and Eddie Kane Steel, we've got the space to make it, but we can't say it's one particular spot yet. But we hope to know that by
I
Sunday.
thought it worked out really well starting at Mito, and was it last year? we
last
did that?
year's
Yeah.
first time.
Yeah, so I think it started out. I felt like it went pretty well.
A little further for some to
Yeah.
walk, but we told most of them just ride to the main where it used to start.
Yeah,
But
what we did with some of our walkers and stuff, we said the float's over here, but that doesn't mean you have to start with the float and walk with the float.
Right.
Start over at St. John's or whatever, get you wherever you're parked or whatever, and then just kind of meet up with us when we come by.
and we were looking at that. Would it be? What if we started at Barry Hahn Elementary in the near future? That's just a half a mile longer though.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing.
But that's
It's a place we're
absolutely going through the
guaranteed to-
entire downtown at that
That's
point.
exactly. It gives more room for people to sit. So that's something we'll let you know. And
Do
then
we know how many people actually attend the parade? What's the estimate?
we did a guesstimation. We think it's close to 6,000 people.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking
Yeah.
too.
I think you should take two people,
I was
one on
thinking
each
5.
side, and hit a clicker every time they walk past somebody. Somebody's watching the right side and somebody's watching the left
Burn
side.
up.
And you just click it up until it's done, and then by the end of the parade, and they're done walking the walk,
We'd
then
be responsible for carpal tunnel then when they
Oh.
get finished.
they can switch. They got 5 different fingers. They can
I think we'll just do a
8 different fingers and 2 thumbs.
what we should do a remote in the parade, and like do a
Yeah, it would work if that side of town actually got good reception.
well.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
I can't even get
we'd have
reception when I'm down at whatchamacallit. It'd be cool if the city of Brandenburg would actually put up a open hotspot through BBTEL down there in the park in that area.
They do have a lot
Nucor
down there for
sponsors it in the
Nucor.
park.
They-
Yeah, for the RV park.
the whole
No,
park.
at the ballpark.
And the,
Oh no, I'm talking about just that whole.
You're talking about the whole
oh, they
town.
do
yeah.
have it at the amphitheater and all that.
Yeah,
So
That's cool.
So then we switched to the gospel sing at 4:00. After you've been in the hot parade, you can come in the cool
Get in the
air
hot- oh, yeah.
conditioning. So that's always a real good.
Do we know who's
yeah,
who's singing?
They're in here. Let me see. Page. is
It's
on
the
That's something-
Blackwood Quartet.
The Blackwood Quartet.
They've been singing with Barbara Mandrell, Willie Nelson. They performed on Hee Haw and the Arthur Godry Show. And there'll be featured local artists playing, and they look like it'll be a good time.
Gary Benham them do a great job of getting some that are very entertaining, and we follow that right up with the community worship service where they bring the churches together. A lot of other choirs sing together, and it's really we kind of kick off with a kind of a overview of what's going to happen. for
Journey
the-
going to play in that with this?
We have in the past. I don't know if we are this year or not. I don't know if it's. I think usually the ministerial association kind of like
Oh, gotcha.
coordinates all that. So each year it's usually somebody different.
Yeah.
And
Or
then-
and a lot of times it's more than one church that's actually providing people and whether it's worship teams or
Sure.
preachers
Or the choirs.
whatever. Yeah. So
It's a good turnout, and we have it. It's really a lot of people attend that.
Sure.
And it was put in place when we went to Sunday for the parade. The parade used to be on Monday night at 5:00. Terrible. People were trying to get home from work to get there, couldn't get there, and then it was so rushed it made Monday night terrible. So we kind of made the agreement with the ministerial association. We would put it middle of the day. Everybody says, "Why are you in the hottest part of the day?" Well, it was to miss morning church and be done before evening church. But we said, let us do a community worship service that if you could cancel your evening service, have everybody come here.
Yeah.
There's no charge on the
Sure.
first
yeah,
weekend.
there's yeah.
And it's a good opportunity to unite all the ministerials that are going on here. I think is
And we
great.
need
It
every
is.
prayer we can get for weather. So
Yeah.
that's what we thought.
Oh
Start off on a
Lord,
good foot.
please give us great weather.
Then Monday is just a full day. I mean, we hit the ground running right off the bat with the home and garden building. The entry check-ins, the 4-H rabbit poultry show, then the King Arthur cook-offs at 12:45 on Monday. They did move the beef cook-off. It's going to the Great Pumpkin Pursuit that'll be at Roberts Family Farm in the fall. So this
Yeah, that was
too hot.
that was my favorite. Because
you got the judge
I got the
last year,
judge
didn't you?
last year, and I'm telling you, that was.
I'd like to
there
sign
was
up
some
for that in the
great food.
future.
Hey, all you have to do is hang out a little bit, and you never know what you're going to be a judge of.
All
I
right.
think Mark was at the office, and I said, "Mark, where are you going? Nowhere."
You said
be a
good. I need you to be a
He says,
judge.
I need a judge. I said, what am I judging? Food? I said, hey, not a problem.
Not a problem. That's
It's steak most of the time and hamburgers. I mean, but then we just go all day long. The swine show, it's at 5 p.m. all the commercial buildings up there for the Home and Garden opens at 5, and then our Home and Garden exhibits at 6, and then the buildings, commercial buildings that y'all are in, are 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock, and that's where the 4 hours. And I think we've tried to guesstimate that by watching. We think 75% or more of the people that attend the fair go through those two buildings.
I mean, it's a constant line of people most of the time until the big events of the night
Get
start.
rolling.
And then it kind of like everybody moves over to the arena and it slows down, which is fine because it gives us an hour to kind of like draw down and get ready to clean up, and then we're doing our drawings and things like that, which is nice. So
Then with Kissel's, our rides open at 6 p.m. to closing. We have our Miss Meade County at 6 p.m. and the Ms. Meade County, that's 22 and older, and they can be married to be in that contest. Then our English Horse Show is back at the main horse arena. Then we have the
Demolition
Top
Derby.
Dog Promotions. That's John Peck. They've been our promoter for several years now. They'll start on Monday at 7:30. The Youth Talent Contest is in the Farm Bureau Community Building at 8. And then our $8,000 cash drawing. That's 4 drawings. The first one's for $5,000. Then we have 3 $1,000 drawings.
Nice.
And that's used to be a truck, and then we went to cash because everybody can use cash.
That, I'll say Monday night, even if you have a pass, you buy a ticket.
That's right. Everybody.
That's the way it is.
Some people buy more. They say it's better than the lottery. So their chances. So then we go to Tuesday, which I kick this off as one of the most special days of the fair for me. And we've talked about this many times, Steve and I, especially. That's it's my brother-in-law's 64th birthday today. I left this party to come be with you guys.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, I was good. We were about done. He'd already opened his envelope, so it didn't matter. So our special needs days from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., and that's a partnership. We really have everybody in that. Kristen Hibbard with the school system helps us with that. She puts it out. MARC, we've had people that come from everywhere, and hopefully the weather will be great for this. And Kissel has rides open for them, up to 10 rides that no sound, no lights. That's just so easy. They can go to the barns. It's just a great day. And our food booths feed those special needs folks for free. And but
That's just
the
awesome.
last
I mean,
two
that's community. Again, community.
I'm going to be even better than that. Last year we had 2 sponsors come forward, said, somebody told me, is it true your food booths feed these folks for free? I said, that's true. He said, find out what it costs them.
Oh,
And they gave us money to reimburse everybody for their expenses on what they had been out. So, that's even a bigger win that our community supports those food booths enough to do that. So it's a huge thing. And Russ Fackler on our board, he has a son with special needs. And
is Russ still in charge of it?
Yep, and he is. Well, we actually have one of Chad Ford's wife, Amelia, is called the superintendent of it because she works with it at school. And
Right.
and then Russ is the contact with Kissels and all that. So it's a full day. We all participate because it means that much to us all. It just so the first year parents were coming up to this fair window, tears in their eyes, and just talking about how much that's first time they'd ever been able to bring their child to the fair. So you don't get over that. You just keep going. So. But then we have the Pee Wee Miss, the Precious Miss start around 4 o'clock, the sheep shows, and right after the sheep show, you have the goat shows. Then the buildings are open again, the rides open at 6 again. The Rook Tournament is in the Farm Bureau Community Building. That has probably been 25 years of Rook Tournament at the fair, and it still draws 20 to 30 teams.
I
and
would
that's-
say I remember way back when I was a kid. Actually, I wasn't probably a kid then. As long as I can remember, there's been a Rook tournament or some tournament.
used to be in the barn.
Yeah.
And it was so hot, we had to finally get it to a good building. So, and then that's where we go to the KOI drag racing back at the horse arena. And in the main arena, we have the Battle of the Bluegrass truck and tractor pull. It was rained out last year, so hopefully we'll get that. Several local people are part of that.
Well, I'll go ahead. We're not there yet. We keep going.
Wednesday is our Meade County Farm Bureau Day. Actually, everybody that comes to the fair, the cost will be $1 less. It'll only cost you $11 instead of $12 Farm Bureau pays for $1 that
Oh,
day.
wow.
So, and they kick off that morning at 7 a.m. with our Farm Bureau community breakfast. We've told and teased about this every year. We'd like that to be moved to a brunch. It's hard to get up midweek when you don't
7
have
a.m..
to, and you have to be there by then. Then our steer, beef shows all kick off. One of the most exciting events for me is our 12 of noon athletic events. If you've never been there for it, it's worth a day to come. Kids at 11 o'clock, there's not a soul you can see. At 12, there's 1,000 kids from 5 years old, and we've stated in the rules, kids 22 and over. So they'll get out there and they'll do anything to win that dollar. It's $1, $2, and $3, and we give away almost $2,000 every year.
Wow.
So,
You know, and these are like, I mean, think about like your field day events and stuff like that when you were in school, right?
Yes,
That type of stuff, right?
basketball, softball,
Yeah.
sack race, it's all that. So-
Yeah.
And then that evening, like I say, we just go right on into. We have our commercial buildings, all our auction, which is our 4-H FFA auction that you mentioned earlier, Steve.
Yeah.
Those buyers, and it's unheard of. Nobody has an auction that the animals bring what they do at our fair, and it all that money goes directly to the kids.
That's right.
Not a penny of that goes to anybody else. And then our backseat driving contest was actually moved back to the main arena.
I want to get in
past
on that this year. That'd be fun. Mark, you and I should enter as a team.
Who's going to drive?
I don't know.
I,
I'll guide.
yeah, you
You
want to?
drive.
All right. Well, he gives good instruction. Whatever Mark says, go right. I'm going right. How long? Hard right or straight right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's how they
That's
get
it.
it. And
Right
we get-
one, right two.
Now, that's a tough competition because I heard,
Gary.
no, yeah, Gary and the pie lady last year, didn't they win?
Barbara Prophet.
Barbara
Yeah.
Prophet. You
They
ain't had
won
no
it
pie till
several
you had a Barbara
years,
Prophet
so-
pie.
And there were people, we've had Randall Hardesty used to be the magistrate. He got so confused, he just froze. He stopped, and everybody said, "What's the matter?" He said, "I don't know which way to go. I don't even know which way's up," he said. So it was kind of a humorous thing. And we have a live microphone on the person, so we have to be kind of careful with it. But then we have our Texas Hold'em. It's in the fair at the Farm Bureau building also, and that's about a 75, 80 people that participate in that. Mudslings.
So the only thing I had a concern about for the Texas Hold'em, because when they just did the swearing in after January for everybody, when the swearing in and part of the oath that said you've never gambled or whatever else or something like that.
I think you don't have a fought a deadly duel or something. I hear
Yeah, or
that,
deadly
yeah.
duel. I was like,
Or
what?
challenge to a duel.
Yeah,
or
challenge to a
something.
duel.
You've never participated
I
in it.
challenge you to a duel. But that's a
hope-
real gun shooting duel, not a
Yeah, I don't hope not.
pick your pistol and.
And then we have our mudsling at the main at the horse arena, and then we have in the main arena our monster truck show. So, and then we go to Thursdays, our open poultry and rabbits. The building's open at 5. Home and Garden. The Miss Preteens at 5:30. And I think I heard the other day there's like 27 in that, and then about 10 or 11 in the teens. So that's always big numbers. And then the
water.
rides are 6 to closing again. And then I guess one of the things that you wanted to do, and we want to make sure you put this down, watermelon eating contest at 6:30. So
Oh, okay.
you want to try to be in the main arena. We will furnish you a garbage bag to put over you, so if it's too bad. Our horse pulls at the horse arena, the Miss Teen pageants at 7, the rooster crowing contest.
It's pretty good.
Man, you can tell a guy from Texas.
You can.
So,
The Texas is coming out.
That's pretty good, buddy, right there. I'm
Texas is
telling you.
coming out in the
was
boy
good.
today.
I'm gonna get in on that one. When is that? Thursday?
that's 7:30 on the morning, it says, but
Oh Lord!
I thought it was
Well,
later.
it's got to be
I'll
at dawn.
find that.
That was bad. All right, I'm
I
gonna
think
quit
we
on the head.
practice that. Then we
I
have
do
our
practice. I got some. Well, that gets me in trouble though. I do all kinds of sounds and noises and over. But last year I mocked the draw and it got me in trouble. But anyway,
Is it really at 7:30 a.m. or is that supposed to be p.m.?
I think that's a typo. I really do. But I can find out. I don't know. I don't think it'll be very late. It's probably
it says
in the
7:30
morning.
p.m.
It says 7:30 a.m. in the for the rooster crowing.
It
Let's
says
look
right
in
here,
the
real
page.
rooster crowing contest, 7:30 p.m. in the barn.
But you're in the
Page.
we're in
that's-
the,
That's
we're
a
in the schedule.
typo.
No, I'm in the official.
No. The schedule says 7:30 a.m.
Oh, I
but
gotcha.
the page
It's
says
7:30 p.m.
It
I'm glad
is.
y'all saw that. I need to get that corrected.
So you know the one thing I see missing from this, maybe in the future, your time on the air, the Mead Truth podcast. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
we
just
need to put
kidding.
that in there.
yeah, I
just
could
kidding.
do that. So
I'm teasing.
then we did on Friday is our, like I said, that's one of our largest days always. 'cause
Sure.
first
But there's only
Friday of the
4
week.
line items on
That's,
Friday.
that's exactly. Yeah, but it takes all day to get ready for them.
Yeah, but everybody likes to come out on that day. The kids are out because everybody's out of school. They're out of work. It's Friday, and they want to go to ride the rides and stuff like that. So that gives more business to the rides too. I'd say.
It's the first night of our NTPA truck and tractor pull. And something I probably should have stated every day. It's in the catalog. You can come to the fairgrounds and eat lunch. You don't have to pay. If the gates open on Wednesday and Saturday, I'm going to eat lunch. You get in free. You just got to come in, eat, and then go leave, whatever. But nobody's going to stand there and time you while you're there eating.
Oh,
I mean,
that's-
yeah, it's
But that's-
lunchtime, right?
But then Saturday is another one of those days you get there at the crack of dawn and go. The pet and dog show is a huge event at our fair, and the baby contest. Then the pedal pull. If you've not been to it, it's really good. Where playing hooky is the name of the guy. He comes from over in Evansville, Indiana, and it has the most modern looking pedal pull tractors, even an adult tractor. That barn is full of people. I mean, adults and all that take part in that. And Susan Stewart is actually she does a great job with that. Then our draft horse and mule show at the horse arena is at 10. Our battery powered mini truck pull is in the show barn. And
Yep.
it starts at noon. The buildings again all open again. The home and garden exhibits. Prince and Princess are at 5:30. Little Mr. and Miss are at 7. All that's in the community building. And then our truck and tractor pull again at 7.
Day number 2.
And then everything that you entered in the home and garden building was supposed to be picked up on Sunday. We were trying to change that around a little bit. I don't know if we got that done where you could pick them up that evening, but it's really set up for that.
It's hard.
Yeah.
To pick up on
Yeah,
Sunday.
it's hard to pick it up Saturday.
You know what I did notice in this book is on the back you have a fair survey, and so just tear off the back page when the fair's all done and leave the comment. So where can they leave these when they're at the fairgrounds other than on the ground? So you have to
The fair
pick it up.
office. My,
Okay.
my wife will take them from you and we put them in order and we go through them. It used to be rate every event. Now we just let you tell us the thing you want to talk the most about.
There you go.
That you're passionate about.
Sure.
And we do get a lot of positive ones and some suggestions, but I tell you, we like I told y'all before, my goals are number one, why would I ask somebody to use something I wouldn't ask my wife to use? So we've got great bathroom facilities. The second thing is I want it to be clean.
Yeah.
If you come to that fairgrounds and it's dirty, something's wrong.
Yeah.
You know, we want when you get there, you want you to say, "This is really nice," you know, and things like that. So Friday and Saturday, it's worn pretty bad, so you know it gets pretty worn down. So, and in our catalog, it's got our big contributors, and everybody's important. I don't want to ever say, just talk about big ones that are in there. These are huge providers to our fair that make it work.
Yes.
But the $100 sponsor is just as important to me, just because they're supporting our fair.
Sure.
So that makes a big, big difference for me.
So I know you're going to get to your support staff.
I have a great group. I've talked about it. We're such a small board.
Yeah.
We only have 10 fair board members and 3 secretaries.
Yeah.
And then I throw my extra in as my wife. She's been there every day I've been there from 1982 to now. So, but I have them all, and I'll go through if it's okay if I list their names.
Sure, yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, we start off, our fair board is Lance Paget, Kenny Hott, Perry Richardson, Chad Ford, Andrew Ford, Brandon Phillips, Doug Banks, Russ Fackler, and Sarah Fackler. Then the 3 ladies that sit in there, really, they give up their fair.
They
They're
do.
in there working on computers constantly, handling complaints, getting to every event, the ribbons,
Sure.
and trophies ready, the money ready, and Melissa Yates has been there with us since about '94, and she's been there. My daughter Morgan is there, Morgan Wyatt, and Kristen Miller Barr.
Yeah.
And then that's the 10 of us, and like I said, I wouldn't be where I am today without Sharon.
Absolutely.
I tell everybody that. She tries to keep people off of me from being too out of the way. But she is really
She's
good.
the window lady.
She is the window lady, and
That's right.
loves every minute. She's there 12 hours a day or more.
You know, I didn't really interact with Sharon a lot before we started doing Gate, but quickly you just learn who she is and her personality, and she's a great lady and likes to have a little fun, likes to talk, but she really makes you feel welcome and such. So
We all tease about it. They come up there angry, mad. She either finishes them off or else she's got to calm down to make it good. So,
Yeah.
And guys, again, I appreciate your all's time for doing this for us, and I look forward to Fair Week.
It's going to be an exciting. We have a completely new remote setup. That PTZ camera that's in front of you, we have 2 of them, and they go on a big tripod, so it'll kind of open up the space. We won't have the GoPros like this. And as I operate the podcast, I have a little digital controller so I can zoom in, zoom out, whoever's talking. But I'm going to try to set it up in like a lounge setting behind our backdrop. We actually have our Mead Truth logo, which you've seen it before on our podcast. That'll be right behind us in the background. Everybody will come to know us. And then we'll obviously have some. We're gonna have some swag out there. I think we'll try to get. I want to try to get a purchase in to get like QR codes, take you right to our live stream and our YouTube and our Twitch and our Twitter.
No, they are on our tablecloth.
That's right.
I didn't put them on the backdrop, but I put them on the tablecloth.
That's fine. I wouldn't like the backdrop myself, but I just want to point out again, this is the official Meade County Fair catalog. So if you bought a paper today, that's from the Meade Messenger. That is not the Fair Board approved. That's just something the Meade Messenger did. So this is just without all the ads, and it's got a great breakdown of day by day. We just went through it for you, but if you get your hands on this, it also has the application forms for the Pee Wee competition. For the competition, it gives you the dates and the cut lines for entries and the POCs with the contact number. All in here. All you need to do is reach out. You can get this information from this fairgrounds, and if you're a family, mom and dad, and you want to see your child participate in some of these activities, I think that I thought the dog walk, the dog show, I got little Liam now and my dog, and he could be in there and participate in this fair. Lillian's not old enough, or we call her Stevie now. She's not old enough yet, but she'll be 2 next year, and I'm like, oh, she'll be old enough to be little Miss Pee Wee pageant. And, there's just stuff out there for the whole family, and there's so many different things that you could get involved in. There's no reason not to be at the county fair.
It's in. We are agricultural based.
Yeah.
And we have motorsports that are a topping on top of that. And this actually is on our website. It's on the front of that catalog.
That's right.
If you'd rather do it online, that catalog is on our website now. And we may have a few glitches of dates yet on our website, but we're almost there to be up to date.
Yeah. Well, Mark, I think we're going into our last segment of the night. Dave, as always, I just can't thank you for allowing us the opportunity to have a space and be a part of the community. I mean, that's all we're doing with this program. We don't get funded, we don't get paid. This is Steve Lake time, Mark Burnett time, and we do get a good reach on this, especially when we share to like your page and stuff like that. You have a great following for obvious reasons for a number of years. We're just too when Joe comes on, it's 2 fat guys and a Steve is what they
Yeah,
said.
that's right. That's our alternative name.
But we're all
when we
citizens of Maine.
monetize, that's what it's going to be.
Yeah,
But I told you, I hated that last year. I forgot we weren't going to do Saturday night, and I did not get the chance to tell you how I thought it was great. And how much I enjoyed it, and you all do a great job, and it's fun. I mean, I think it's really good to help the people have something they can tune into, just like the gentleman in Florida.
Yeah.
What better way, man? That's perfect. Did you know he still cares about the Meade County Fair?
Absolutely. And I believe we will be doing every night this year.
We'll be doing
Monday through Saturday.
Monday through Saturday. We'll be participating in the fair parade.
Yep.
We don't know to what extent we're going to do anything on the podcast with it, but if we can, it'd be kind of cool to do it.
Yeah, I think it would be cool to broadcast maybe even the church service that goes on, but depending on how we can move the equipment around and we can
I don't know. I don't know. We'd have to figure that out, but it's
even if I could get one PTZ over there, I could do it from the booth at the booth, but I don't know.
Jay Burns handles most of our equipment, sound, things like that. We could get with him early about what it'd take to make you be able to tie into it.
All I need is tie into the audio. We have it all set up to do that. We do this. We broadcast at Fancy Farm.
I did. I saw that.
We'll be down there again this year. I just
Yep.
talked to Nancy. That's on August the 5th. And tomorrow, we actually have a special guest in the community. Mark, you want to talk about that?
I do. Daniel Cameron will be.
I'm gonna leave you unless you need me.
No, David. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
for the time. We're just going to get what's coming up real quick in the community. What's coming up tomorrow. But David, thank you for
Thank you all.
for coming
Appreciate
out
it.
and sharing with us. And it's always a great visit.
Yeah.
Thank
Be a
you.
great fair.
It will.
It will.
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Mark, take us away.
So tomorrow at noon, Daniel Cameron running for he's our current Attorney General. He is running for governor.
He is the
and
Republican nominee.
He is a Republican nominee for governor, and he will be in Brandenburg at Meade County Christian School at noon, from maybe a few minutes after noon, because he is going to be on WMMG the last segment of that of Edgewise at around 11:40 to noon, and then he'll drive down to
Meade County Christian
Meade County Christian School right there, still on the bypass, and we invite all of you out. Anybody that wants to come out and meet, it's just a meet and greet. There'll be some some snacks and some things, but it's mostly to come and meet Daniel Cameron and see what he's about, and to show support or ask questions. I don't think that I've ever seen Daniel ever dodge a question or whatever, but he'll be absolutely glad to meet you and shake your hand, and if you have a question, I'm sure he'll answer it. But that's tomorrow at noon, and then we are going to be next week we should have one more podcast if we can get it in. And then the following week is Fair Week, so we'll be doing Fair Week Fair every day.
Yeah.
And I look forward to it. I think it's going to be an awesome time, and I think that we will we'll put this together, and we'll get David on every day, and we'll have what's going on for the day and highlight some things and have a good time. And if we can do the remote thing, I think it's going to be an awesome thing.
I think it will be. We'll try.
So, and then in August we'll have Fancy Farm. So
Yep.
that
Right around the corner.
the first Saturday in August, Fancy Farm down in Fancy Farm, Kentucky, should be a good year. I mean, it's going to be. We have governor candidates and things, and we'll see who all shows up on each side of the aisle. And I had a great time. Every time I've gone to Fancy Farm, I've had a great time. But last year was a really, really special time, getting to actually meet some of the folks that put it on and working with them, and they were great. And I think that it's going to be really nice for us again to get down there and get into that.
Absolutely.
I have heard from a few folks in around town says, "Hey, why don't we do something like that here?" I mean, I know you and I've talked about it, but now I'm hearing from other people says, "Why don't we have something that?"
Like the Fancy Farm?
Yeah, something similar to Fancy Farm.
I think we're getting closer to it. The draw that we're bringing in now, our access to different engagements.
Yeah.
I think we just got to continue growing our following. But if we get to where we're at, we would like to generate that. I mean, it's a goal of me and Mark's, but
Yeah.
I think that there's a prime opportunity given the growth of this county to keep these elected officials coming back and showing us who's who in the zoo, so we can vote for the right you. You know what I mean? So
That's right.
that made sense. That was like a poem.
It did. I
I'm
felt
getting
like
good at this.
I felt like I was sitting with Dr. Seuss there for a minute.
Oh my gosh. Well, listen, folks, I just want to say thank you. It's been a great night. What a great lead into the fair. I'm
is.
excited. Mark, I'm so glad to be here on the show with you.
I am so glad to be back and have a little therapy before we get into Fair Week.
This is our therapy. I think this is our zen. But it's not for our self-gratification. It's really because we love this county. I moved here for a reason. Mark's lived here his whole life, and we are invested in you and getting the truth out.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you all for listening to us. And hey, I know we didn't put that out for the phone this week, but we did have it here. But we got right into things. We had a little bit of trouble with the internet, but we got that up and running, and everything went smooth. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will talk to you next week. Have a good night. Bye.